Hello, we're back on your favorite program, TS or TALKSHOP. Oh, by the way, somebody wrote to me and says, Charlie, those of us who watch you, we call ourselves the TALKSHOPians. I think his name was Richard from, Christian Village. So we call ourselves TALKSHOPians. So please bring me more names, eh? Anyway, we're back on TALKSHOP where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And as we say all the time, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And our latest one, this is what we call our promise to all you apostles of Jandam. This is a promise we have made. And yet threat is a promise. And the promise is that we shall suffocate you with the truth. So, and finally, folks, I know you're waiting for this, man. What time is it? And the answer, you know it, man. It's nation time. Oh, we are building this nation. We are building this nation. So today on Nation Time TALKSHOP, I'm going to talk about something very, very, very interesting. To all my dear friends in the NPP, please listen to me. You may get angry, but NPP, take this advice. Stop misfiring, because the misfiring may put you in relegation. What did they look at? Stop misfiring, or it may put you in relegation, to lead you into relegation. This is what I'm going to talk about. But before then, very, very quickly, you know, June 15th is Father's Day. And so on Father's Day, KSM, chef, I'm going to be grilling some wings, some barbecue. Beautiful grills at Cactus Creek, and it's KSM on the grill. So please, note it down. Father's Day, June 15th, and I'm hanging out with one of the best DJs in Ghana, Ni Ayitegu. So watch you and see you on Father's Day. All right. Okay, now let's move on. This is what I wanted to talk about today. You know, the last episode I gave free advice to the NDC. So here's some advice to the NPP. Massa, I'm telling you, the misfiring can lead you to relegation. Folks, the misfiring is what led to that massive defeat. The misfiring, the results of the election was simply a level of misfiring that you carried out. Even after this sad defeat, you said, no, NDC didn't win, we lost.
And NDC no win the election, no. Yeah, MPP they lose the election.
You know what that means? Please, you're not learning your lessons. You are not learning your lesson. Because the misfiring gave you that unprecedented loss we have seen in the history of Ghana politics for the Fourth Republic. And rather than realize that and go back and sit down and rethink and regroup, the way that makes you feel happy is that, oh, don't mind NDC, they didn't win. It is we who lost. Folks, misfiring. Let me tell you when you started misfiring, and I'm telling you to please watch this. You know, in the beginning I just said, oh, Charlie, after that such a massive defeat, the party is traumatized. And when there's trauma, people really get confused and they get very, very, very emotional when there's trauma. So at the beginning, I just thought that maybe, you know, the NPP has been traumatized. That's why there were many, many, many statements coming out that were very emotional. Like, we didn't lose. You know, these are all emotional things. But what I want to tell you is this: times have changed. We have moved from that era where we get emotional and we shout what I call empty bantering, to an era where it's sober thinking, man. Say there, everything you do must be backed with sober thinking. And when you have sober thinking, you plan and you say, this is what I'm going to do because this is the results I want. If that shouldn't happen, then I have plan B. But it's not just you get up, talk. It's just been a series of misfiring. The first misfiring, though, is this: oh, NDC didn't win, we lost. That was the first misfiring, you know.
And NDC no win the election, no. Yeah, MPP na ye lose election.
That was the time to really regroup and rethink, how did we get here? Rather than just simplify it and say, oh, NDC didn't win. That was the first misfiring. The second misfiring, folks, what led to such a massive victory, believe it or not, was when JM promised that when I come back, I'll do all I can to recover all the loot.
We'll launch an Operation Recover All the Loot to investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption. To investigate, prosecute, and recover the proceeds of corruption, no person found culpable will be spared.
Do you know how that impacted Ghanaians? Ghana for bread. Ghana for were just so sick and tired of Obiadi Sabosi come loot here, there, left, right, and center, and it was so obvious, and it was done with impunity. You know, so Ghana, please listen to me, politicians, especially misfired MPP. People were so frustrated and anger was burning in them. Said the looting is too much. So when JM said, Charlie, when I come, I'm going to recover all the loot, trust me, you have no idea how many sympathizers and votes he got just from that. Say, brilliant, you've looted this country, now we're going to put an end to that. I'm going to recover all the loot. You have no idea, folks. You still have no idea the impact. Maybe that was James' magic card in this election. There were so many things, but maybe that was the magic card. Say, are you going to recover the loot? Then we are with you. Because Ghanaians are tired. People are suffering. And to learn that we have the money, it is true. To learn that, folks, we go to IMF and beg, oh, Charlie, give us 2 billion. We go to IMF to beg, please give us 2 billion. And then after all the time, and they said all their conditionalities and everything, it's not like they take you, here's the 2 billion, no. In the amount, they pay small. Even the 2 million, they pay small. And Ghanaians are all disgusted by the fact that you're called 17 times. So to be aware that we have gone back again for 2 billion. Whilst the fact on the ground is that the looting alone is over 20 billion. Massa, dang. As a country, through corruption, through bribery, through all kinds of schemes, we have lost $20 billion. And then we go and beg small for 2 billion. So folks, you don't have any idea how Ghanaians were so sick and tired of this. And you have no idea the momentum JM got when they talked about, I'm going to do all I can to recover all the loot because you have bread. We can't go begging for 2 billion when our own people are stealing $20 billion. And yet, it doesn't make sense. So I just said this for you to understand why that thing has momentum. Okay? So the second is firing. The minute JM came in and this NDC came in, the second misfiring just came right up. Angry NPP, and unfortunately my own nephew, Afenyomaki, leading the charge. This oral thing, we shall resist it. Really?
I condemn, in no uncertain terms, the establishment of a so-called committee called ORA. It is a needless committee. It has no constitutional backing, and this committee is only in for personal vendetta. If we allow this committee to continue with its so-called wild goose chase, it will disturb the governance of this country.
This thing that has given the NDC so much momentum that I would say here, at least 80% of the ability to win power was based on the oral. And your first reaction as a party is that we shall resist all the loot?
Mr. Speaker, that so-called committee that so-called committee claiming to be going after loot must be cautioned that that committee is unconstitutional and illegal.
Do you remember? Not only that, too, somebody had a press conference. I don't even remember his name. A press conference surrounded by very, very intelligent supporters of the NPP. And he announced at the press conference that if any of you are called to come and report for the loot, don't show up.
And so if you are a former government official and you're invited by this so-called aura, advice to you from the minority is to boycott any invitation from the aura team. We are not going to be part of it.
Hey, what level of misfiring is that? If anybody is called regarding the looting, don't show up. Massa, this is the second misfiring. You're not aware that when you're doing this, you know, in your mind, you're showing that NPP is selling, we are still strong. As my nephew said, you are not a minority, you are a mighty minority.
Let me tell the NDC, we are few, but we are a mighty few.
And with that mind, it's so easy to misfire and even announce that even if you're called, say, well, Lieutenant Oral team is calling you out, don't go. Massa, that's the second misfiring. You are misfiring because you were actually alienating the people from you. You know, I said it on this program time and time again, that if you want votes, if you want to win people's votes, you start by winning their hearts and their minds. You start by winning their hearts and their minds of the people, then you can get their vote. You don't alienate them. You don't tell the people who have suffered for 8 years and witnessed unprecedented looting, you don't tell them, say, we have come to defy the looting. And anybody, any of you who is called, say, come because you're going to talk about looting now, please don't go. Second misfiring.
And so if you are a former government official and you're invited by this so-called aura, advice to you from the minority is to boycott any invitation from the aura team. We are not going to be part of it.
Let me tell you those, I don't remember the name of the MP, I think it's this Swami Dude. Second, Swami Dude, if you are listening to me, I'm telling you, you led a very major misfiring. Because what you did, you alienated many of your supporters. Because, Charlie, listen, we have come to the stage where Ghana is evolving slowly. Don't forget that Yeko politics, voting up and down, people are evolving. People are thinking. And so you don't treat people the same way you did in Kujoho when we were doing the politics. Things are different now. For one thing, you should be aware that slowly you can't buy people's votes. Slowly, not as even much as I wanted, but slowly you can't buy people's votes. Asinfotu is a perfect example. Money was spread in Asinfotu to make sure that a particular candidate will win. And they took the money, they chopped the money, and made a song. Yaji, Chasupoku Sika no Yaji. And chopped the money and voted against them. That is the first sign that you go out to every politician. Any party said, Charlie, things are changing. Because gone are the days when you can not do anything, don't do their roads, don't do it. When the time comes, go give them some bentwa. And Nestle, Siri, Fred is saying, Sirius, whatever. And then their minds will change. No, those days are going. So I'm telling my folks in the MPP, if you want people to be attracted to the party, don't alienate them. And the first point of alienation is saying, oh, you're still the winners, technically.
And NDC no win election no. Yeah, MPP na lose election.
listen to this very, very carefully. You are alienating yourselves. Second misfiring was to tell, say, you can't lose nice mamu. Big mistake. Look, if you had withdrawn into what I call, Charlie, let's go and regroup. Let's go and strategize. How do we come back? At least how do we get the attention in the hearts of the minds of Ghanaians? It would have advised you that the first thing, the first utterance that should have come out from NPP was that, well, after Muhammad did his first State of the Union, well, we are welcome, we support you and whatever. And we are all Ghanaians. If money has been looted from Ghana, we will back you to make sure that all the money that has been looted from Ghana, we NPP4, we will back you because we need to build Ghana. You'd have noticed the kind of change and love Ghanaians would have had for you. But no, it was all about emotional banter. Emotional banter. They're mighty. No, folks, that era has gone. Get with the program, folks. That era is gone. The era of needless confrontational politics is gone. Where there people are there is humanity. There will be confrontational, but that era is gone. The third misfiring is what we all see now. That the massive improvements that people are experiencing, even if it's slowly, the improvement of the currency and everything, prices are going down, fuel prices are going down, that everybody is seeing. The third misfiring was like, oh, don't mind them. This is nothing.
Do you know why the cedi is stable? The cedi is stable not because Dr. Forson at the Finance Ministry is doing anything special. It's because government is not spending. It's because contractors are not being paid. It's because there's no liquid in the circulating in the economy.
They are not spending. I mean, if you are managing an economy, you have to pay your bills. They are not paying IPPs, for example. This is why the doomsday is so acute. And they are not paying contractors. So when you are not spending, there's less pressure on your currency. So those are some of the reasons why you are seeing an appreciation of the currency. So you cannot ascribe what is happening to the currency to a policy that they have implemented. There's no such policy that has been implemented that has had that impact.
It's temporal. It is not any economic gurus in this country that is causing the cedi to appreciate and the dollar to depreciate. It is the wealth market that they are not demanding the dollars as much as they used to. That is why there's no competition and supply of dollar is exceeding the demand. As simple as that. These are basic economics principles.
Hey! Master! You're counting all the misfirings there. That's the third one. Oh, this is nothing. You see the way there, there's nothing. At first, oh, nothing. Oh, then so later, oh, something that we thought about. Please, regroup, re-strategize. I can give you the apple, but that one they have to pay for it too. Somebody said, KSM, wow, who can we? You come and sit there every day, free advice. Nobody pays for anything free advice. So if you want to do a seminar, put a price tag on it and charge. When they come and pay, they will listen to you. Somebody told me that. I think it was one of my comments. So long as it's free, they say it's free. So folks know, the series of misfiring is pathetic. I've given you 3. Let me give you the 4th and most current misfiring. Wontumi. With all respects, yes. Technically, yeah, the law is the law. And everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Nice English. Beautiful English, oh. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Really? It's not for anymore. For all we know, to me, he's a very nice, kind-hearted person. We're innocent. It's English. So the third misfiring was this, let me say, emotional display of support for Wontumi when he was arrested. Folks, let me tell you something. All the time Wontumi was on radio and he said a lot of nasty things. But to be fair, I know that was not a criminal allegation. Or can, let me say it in Twi, or can sing. And that is putting it very mildly because your kind is worse than you sing. Do you remember the insults on Dana Jinopuku where you bay for the whole tiny way?
Jinopuku, your bar, the Yamon, you know, that in the book, you didn't deal. Or your bar, the Yamon, you know, and Tima, or more Jina, Moki Casse, you are bad. Dinner chair nasa you know, because they don't know. Because they don't know the history of this woman. Now she ma mean and you need to be. What I say? Obi wa how to me who said one so e before. What to me who na nim say? What am I me hwedi na hwedi di pa. Wo ba ti ma hwedi di say ah. To me who said one so e before.
You don't say this under any circumstance. That's what the things he said about Muhammad there. Honestly, my producer always says, KSM, I want to show evidence. But some of them, I'm begging you, producer, maybe don't show. Because I'm not from me. And I'll be sure about your show just maybe 2 seconds. My friends always fighting with me. Mr. Producer, yeah, what's it, Charlie? People didn't hear. Some people don't know.
Lordina Frivie.
Oh, Lordina Frivie.
Frivie. A Frivie. Oh, I can't pay baby at now. Oh, just say, wait, I can assure you, say, Lordina Mahama will never vote for her husband. Please watch it.
Because
oh, yeah, no, you see the bad girl, no, Farida, no, no, I hear the bunny in no, Obi Baba China, and a dear man. What I say, I'm next time, so about the BBC. What I say, now, no, or no, Babano. Instead, say, Obaka Paneracha, when they are there, you know. Make cry them tears in the mid. Crab is a swap pie. Are you, Lordina Mahama? The mate, our nenity, you know. Or could you or buy our Baba Toswa, Mahama?
The things he said, Wontumi is uncouth. Wontumi has no respect for himself. Wontumi is arrogant. He acts with impunity. He insulted her all the way to Benshia. He confronted Asante chiefs. Why? But let me tell you what shocked me in all of this. No intelligent person from the NPP got up to say, Wontumi, Pacho, these things, they actually shokaseye. It is not good for the party that claims we have the man and we are the ones that have the intelligence to rule. Please, some of the things you are saying are so nasty. It shouldn't be coming out of the lips of any correct thinking person. But who can it free? Nobody. And that's the problem with Ghana. People who have voices of reason sometimes say, Charlie, I mean, when I go and say it, they will insult me, so they won't say it. So all of us sat down and you allowed the chairman, Ashanti Regional Chairman of your party, to insult people, to degrade people, to talk rubbish of the highest order. Nobody said anything. And this is the man that you parliamentarians decide say will boycott parliament because you are going to go make sure that he's released. Come on, guys. Massive misfiring. Massive. And you actually go say, yeah, we are going to go and show support. We will sit on the floor. And there were few comments, man. Producer Bacho Bob, just 1 or 2 of the comments. Now come back and continue.
If by 6 or 7 p.m., if Chairman Wontumi is not released or granted bail, Ghanaians will see something different in this country. If by 6 or 7 p.m., if Chairman Wontumi is not released or granted bail, Ghanaians will see something different in this country.
7 p.m. you could notice. If he's not released by 7 p.m., folks, can you imagine where the degradation has gone to? So this man is even speaking for the party and threatening a law-making body and giving them ultimatum. I don't know. About 7 p.m. I checked my time to look out for have they any what do you call it, demonstrations breaking out because the curfew is on. Can you imagine? And there was another guy, he was also threatening. He has boys. He has people who move onto the street and show Ghana. Say you can't joke with Wontumi. And listen to what he said.
Yeah, but fool them. Now, believe me, your organized boys are yeah, and you may say, Wontumi, oh my, you need now, and the best baby. Yes, and let my organized boys are, and your Boku boys, Bolga boys, and now Kusasi boys, I have at the next day, about 4 o'clock, you're paid for back. That's all my yick Wontumi, and I have also appointed for your home. And to our envoy, yeah, not less. You're back, you're banning, fool them. Say you're 2 hours forget it, and you're sick, I forget it. And
it was all viral on TikTok, you know, what he said and what happened a few moments later. I want you to hear the same person. Listen to him.
A few moments later.
Ghana for much ceremony, master the ministers, penny for Ghana penny for you now. Say, I saw me cayenne, so good to a poor much say, and yes, sir, in person, many boys be over here. Yankas are many other boys, 70 by 100. In Nubia, a 70 bar, or my penny with my boy. No one penny, not 70 by 4 boys are medical mind for. A 70 my approach for the boy. And now, as for a war, or my moon never boy. And then Colame Nubia, I make off for a few baby, but I said before by no, because they be by and Tracy. Yama was a dog, the real Mekano, I will phone tip because I'm Manka say, Intimate upon your show, Papa, or Mampiniacho, a pa Ghana phone nacho, a pa, a minister, a pa, a police for national security, and Pedophonia, and Pominacho.
Folks, how do I even get angry at this man? This man is obviously bathing in ignorance, but something triggered his ignorant mind and he started thinking, and that's why he came back. But something triggered his ignorant mind. But can you imagine all this for who? And you said this was for some respected leader of the NPP who has fought hard for the NPP. This was not for a respected member of the NPP who has stood tall and has actually improved on the image of the NPP. And yes, how? This was for a hooligan. He says he went to Prempeh. This one they are investigate, I swear. Because it even affects me. Yeah, Kufoko Prempeh, hey Prempeh, we have a claim to fame. One of our presidents came from there. And other claim to fame too is that he went there. Where am I investigating? I will investigate it. And if he went there, I'll come and apologize on behalf of the whole school. Come on, man. So you decided the law should stop. And let me show you. There was a picture that I saw that Sunday evening when people gathered there. Plenty foot soldiers somehow come from the Kumasi, to come and show support that Sunday evening that, yeah, I guess he was picked up. Plenty. And when I was seeing all those plenty people, do you know what was going on in my mind? I felt sorry. Not for them all. I felt sorry for JM. Do you know why? See, Massa, this unemployment problem and national security. Trust me, all those millions, or not millions, but all those hundreds of youth that were there from wherever who have come to assemble to sport on a Sunday evening, let me tell you, 90% or more, do you think anybody with some serious work, either working for the public, the government or public, or any private, so a serious carpenter, serious work to do, and then he has to get up on Monday morning to go and make sure that his work goes and you see these people out there. So JM, please, in your resetting, don't get angry with these people. Just realize that, hey, Semi Ojuma, Let me do all I can to make sure that these people find work. So, Jim, in your agenda to reset, please just imagine how much employment you should start thinking about creating, because all these people are unemployed. ABI Kasi Basa Mama Mufi of Kumasembra Niamamo 2020 or something. Probably put them in the bus and give them some money, because no serious person who's working, who needs to make money and build himself, will go and stand in front of Yoko Sunday evening and say, yeah, your party leaders here. What's the point? But I think, I don't know the attorney representing Wontumi, Mr. Pierre Kubi, but I have a lot of respect for him. He spoke briefly, but very, very intelligently. And all that he said was this. He said, I'm here to represent my client, to make sure that the best service can be provided for my client. He said, I am not a politician. He said, I have not come here to do politics.
I will stay out of the politics and the theater, and I'll do the work within the law. I thank you very much for your support.
And I think someone online, somebody asked him, so is your client coming out on Monday, because so far you say the paperwork has been done and everything, blah, 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 blah. He said, technically, my client should be coming out on Monday, but a few applications have been thrown in. A few applications have been thrown in, and that may stall the Monday, because if these applications are not revoked or something else happens here, things are not as easy.
But we have a legal challenge. Unknown to me, there was an application to frustrate what we are doing. So we will deal with it on Monday. I say it is application that was not filed by my good self, but that prohibits us.
Is that what you're holding?
That is what I'm holding.
Specifically, what is it about?
I'm not showing you.
Sure. So hopefully by Monday your client will be free.
Hopefully by Monday, when this application is withdrawn, then we'll proceed to complete what we are doing.
I get that becomes a conditionality then, that if this application is withdrawn, yes, your client gets to go home.
Pending, that will impeach them from continuing with the negotiations. Otherwise, we need to wait, and this application is taken and the results come before we can also come in. Because in the pendency of this application, none of us can perform. But at least we have the agreement that we are ready to end. So but for this application, we would have ended today. So unfortunately, our hands are tied.
I don't know. It is alleged that these applications have come from foreign countries like Canada and the US regarding some money laundering, car stealing racket, that have been thrown into this. So the lawyer could be steadied. He didn't come and do pam. Oh, by Monday, if you have been released, we'll see what will happen in Ghana. I said, you're a politician. I'm not going to get into any emotional crap. I'm a politician. I'm here to serve my client. But on Monday, some applications have been thrown in. Oh, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the applications are. It is alleged that they have come from other countries, and some of the charges in there, it is alleged, include racketeering, money laundering, and a car stealing syndicate. I'm sorry. So folks, now let me get back to my dear NPP misfiring. Is this the people that you, in a desperate minority, after closely losing an election, is this the man that you stop parliamentary duties to go and sit out to support? Look at them. Yet it form. And what did you get? It was interesting that later on, as you were leaving the premises, it was also on TikTok, somebody said, actually, Omuko.
The minority leaders and other MPs leaving the premises of the European. MPs are leaving. The minority leaders, minority MPs, they couldn't wait anymore. So they are leaving.
Mukoe, stay. Stay there until Yoko comes and says, oh, MPP, I bow. We are sorry. We have let him go. We are releasing him now to you. Please, that kind of politics is archaic politics. That kind of politics is outmoded politics. The contemporary politics is a politics of the intellect. The contemporary politics is a politics of intellectual discourse. It is no longer what I call and constantly refer to as emotional banter. Emotional banter. Charlie is gone. And this issue about, oh, the law says this, the law says that. Let me deal with that for a second. The law says that according to the law, you can't hold anybody in custody for more than 48 hours. It is true. That is the law. I think it's article what? Is it 43? But it's the law that you can't hold somebody in custody for over 48 hours until the end. So I understand that. But do you know what the problem is? We were all in this country when Oliver Barker, Womavo, you say he was going to do a coup or whatever reason, you threw him in jail and denied him bail. And all the people out there who are now pointing to what the law says were in power. Did any of you come out there and say, no, we can't hold Oliver Barker because he's over 40? One can't. But you had the power. You were in power. So look, I understand, yeah, the law says 48 hours, but you have seen it, experienced it, and being a part of a regime that kept people in jail for over 48 hours and didn't say nothing. Not only that, then came the protesters who said, Charlie, we are tired of Galamsey. Let's do something to raise awareness and stop Galamsey. They were arrested. Some were kept in jail for about 16 days. No bail. You were part of the machinery then.
2 weeks in jail. It's down bad.
We are not robbers.
How can they lock us up? 2 weeks in jail.
They feed us with 4 days cake to eat. 3 people, 1 sardine. 3 people, 1 sardine.
Where were you? We didn't hear from you. Massa. This 50 million that we have given Wontumi, all of a sudden has become something so ridiculous. It's just a setup. Why are you giving them 50 million? Woyome was giving 54 million to pay. His lawyers had the intelligence to go and sit and say, let's do a renegotiation. My own friend Atu Asian, Capital Bank, bill 200 million. 200 million. And we can go when we decide to come up with a list of people who paid who were bails at over 50 million. We are there who be there. So the whole country should stand still, and we should boycott Parliament because of this hero, Wontumi. Somebody that I think by nature, it's such a sad reflection on the MPP, but that this is the man you chose to be the Ashanti regional chairman, and he calls himself the governor. He says even before Muhammad can get to Kumasi, the National Service will have to come and beg him and
Like I said, me back on mining. Me guru na matwaro ye. Na me akwa wu me usro me. Who your president to cry now baha national security for no more negotiate with me Hassan Waba. Now you negotiate with me Hassan Wa enter. Now who just want to me a team kitwa. Who say Ubatme. No man like this and this for no. I na me no ye na this for to make say obi to be no opa na mo ye. Omo ye one na ye do me want me there obwa. Want to me mean slow. Now problem run want to me.
Let me 17 share. This man was ready to buy Chelsea.
And they say, Ken, me say, you Chelsea club, no. Chelsea club, no manager.
Chairman.
Me say, you Chelsea.
Not Chelsea is scared as well.
Oh, now me patch or a top team na ya no me footballers ana. So me business people. Yeah, I'm a businessman.
What's up with £3 million?
3 million pounds.
Billion.
3 billion pounds.
3 billion pounds.
3 billion pounds.
Sanya bofo ne ska any day. The money pa. Yeah, the money pa. I'm a businessman. I do gold mining.
3 billion pounds.
Of course, I didn't know into me here. Me person me Johnny.
Do you know the asking price alone minimum is in excess of $5 billion dollars. This man was ready, so rich he was going to buy it. What's this 50 million national issue? Folks, me I'm advising whoever is in front of the NPP leadership. I know you're going to go through your friend is saying, whatever they call that thing, to start looking for somebody who should represent the NPP. So for the justice of power has begun. When the began, you did what we call tomb, no, so it has begun. Brian Champon, Vice President Baumia, Afeni marking himself, I don't know. He says he doesn't have any interest, but fine. But people are now jostling to say this. We were the ones that stood up. Stood up for what? And folks, please, let me end this way. The strength that Mahama rose to power with was on the strength that Ghanaians say, Charlie, we have suffered enough. We have been looted enough. So if you are going to come and receive, then please come and receive. So the KSM now the OSP has actually given Ken Furata notice to come to Ghana. And if by the law, if he should come and he's requested to go to Yuko, are you all going to stop Parliament and go there again? Why don't you allow the law to work? All of a sudden, the law doesn't work. Look, I'm telling you, parts of your misfiring MPP is making you look like a party that believes in entitlement. Do you know what entitlement is? This thing is wrong. This should not be done this way. This was not correct. But we are the MPP, so we are allowed to do it. Entitlement. Entitlement actually alienates you from the people you want to serve. So take my free advice. This misfiring is making you come across as a party I believe say, oh, we are entitled to. Ghana is entitled to reclaim all the loot. Ghana is entitled to be a progressive, productive country. Ghana is a country entitled to getting our currency strong. That is our entitlement as a nation. So please, whatever entitlement you think, if it's not for the nation, but for the party, then you are misfiring. Then you are misfiring. So any of your leaders, I won't mention anybody's name, who are giving some saying, Charlie, we should unite for the party. You should unite for the party. Yes, unite for the party. But unite and exclude those who are destroying the party. That's when I see there's serious unity. Essentially, we are uniting as a party with the objectives of building this country. So anybody within the party who is not fulfilling that objective or who is bringing us down, step aside. And I say, because we have to unite as a party, even those who are allegedly criminals and bring you down, you should hold high. Folks, I'm done. We can come back again. But we're starting to look at this, that let us all, when we say, whatever I say, I'll bring it back to the same point. Let us build this country. This country is for us. All the money that has been looted, which is being allegedly in the excess of about $20 billion in Ghana Sika. This is money for Ghana. So if anybody gets up and says, I will resist it, they're just telling you, we don't love Ghana. So please, let's all join in this crusade to retrieve our money. So my dear NPP, take the free advice. Oh, you are misfiring. And as I warned you in the beginning, if you continue with the series of such misfirings, you end up in relegation. This country deserves better. And this country, whatever happens, it shall rise again.